Two of the most famous people in the world, Elvis Presley and Marilyn Monroe, are considered as sex symbols from the 20th century. Presley was also recognized as the king of rock and roll with a huge following of fans. Marilyn was an actor and model with an iconic look that's still recognized to this day. In today's video, we're going to discuss whether Elvis Presley and Marilyn Monroe really hook up. Stay tuned to find out. Just a simple Google search will tell you that it's a question fans have wondered for decades. Byron Raphael, who was Elvis Presley's agent at the time, claimed Presley and Monroe spent a night together in a hotel room. Raphael spoke with the New York Daily Post and he revealed some details. The William Morris agency, who depicted Presley, wished to get the two celebrities together for a publicity stunt in the form of them dating. However, Monroe wasn't feeling it and waned it in 1956. Raphael said things didn't end there. Presley didn't give up and set up a meeting privately. He also said that just a few weeks later, Presley and Monroe would meet at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel when Raphael was advised to get Monroe and bring her to Presley's hotel room. Raphael said. 2 weeks later, Elvis called him and said he wants him to pick up Marilyn. It was a rainy night and he brought her to the Beverly Wilshire Hotel and they went upstairs to his room. Raphael claimed the two icons didn't say anything and just began kissing and finally went to the bedroom together. He also said that he woke up to see the two of them stark naked, walking out of the room after he hid behind a closed bar. Raphael said Monroe left the hotel in a cab and that seems to have been the end of it. However, he spoke about Monroe days later, to which he said Presley replied, "She's a nice girl, but a little tall for me." Presley's former agent also said that he agreed to keep quiet about the entire thing. They were both two of the most popular people in the world. Monroe, whose original name was Norma Jean Mortensen, got married to Arthur Miller at the time. Despite the claim of an emotional encounter, nothing was ever made public until Elvis Presley's former agent revealed the news decades later. It's a situation some fans will always think about when it comes to two of the most popular icons to come out in the 20th century. If you're liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now, let's continue. Talking in an interview that was shared in a fresh documentary, The Mystery of Marilyn Monroe, The Unheard Tapes, John Danoff also said that he was hired by an opponent to dig up dirt on the Kennedy brothers. He claims to have installed listening devices in the actress's residence as well as the beach house at the home of John and Robert's brother-in-law, Peter Lawford. Peter and their sister Patricia Kennedy Lawford were renowned for holding wild parties, while Marilyn would meet the brothers in special at the couple's beach house in Palm Springs. Speaking about the secret recordings, Danoff said, "I'm starting to recognize the voices, the Bostonian accent, and Marilyn Monroe. I heard the president call Marilyn, Marilyn, or Marilyn calling the president the press." Fred Otosh, the investigator who worked with Danoff, said that there were various tapes made on Marilyn and Jack at the beach house in the act of loving-making. They went into the bedroom where there was another transmitter which picked up cuddly talk and took off her clothes. He also explained how they heard arrangements of meetings with not just Jack but brother Bobby, who visited the stars' home on multiple occasions. He said there were more tapes made out of Robert Kennedy and Monroe as opposed to Jack Kennedy and Monroe. John Danoff was hired by private investigator and former cop Fred Otosh, who is remembered as one of the best in the business. Otosh was also hired by an opponent of the Kennedy brothers, Union leader Jimmy Hoffa, a famous corrupt man who was well connected to the mafia. Alex Trebek's guidance that changed his life. Hoffa was angry after being targeted by Attorney General Robert Kennedy over his illegal activities and was desperate to dig up dirt on the brothers. Otosh also explains how Marilyn's home, as well as Lawford's Palm Springs property and beach house, were troubled. Talking in the tapes, he says, "They were placed under the carpets, in the chandeliers, and in the ceiling fixtures. The Lawfords held some of Hollywood's most prominent parties, attracting Hollywood's rich and popular ones. Peter was a member of Frank Sinatra's Rat Pack and married Kennedy's sister, Patricia, in 1954. Dean Martin and his wife Jean were regular visitors and she described Peter as a pimp for the Kennedys." The latest documentary also reveals unheard interviews from those who were close to the Hollywood superstar before and after her tragic demise on August 4, 1962. The suspicious situations around her death have led to countless conspiracy theories, despite coroners ruling her demise as probable. With that being said, it's time to end our today's video. Press the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stuff. Peace out.